Hello, Flickin' Fanatics. I am Jesse Swift and welcoming you to a very special fan cast. Fan cast. Yeah, very special fan cast. We are approaching the beginning of a new year. Coming right around the corner is 2023. I can't believe it. And with that, I thought it would be fun to take a look back at the amazing year we've had for film and cinema and really honor some of the titles that have gotten buried underneath the Top Guns, Avatars, and the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. So here are my top 10s that you may have missed this year in no particular order. Now, keep in mind, maybe you've seen a bunch of these. Maybe you're a huge film fan like me. I am basing my list solely off of box office in looking at the fact that the general audience might not have seen this because, YouTube is vast. So here is my stipulation for this list. These are all movies that made less than $150 million worldwide by the end of their run. Now, the only exception is I have a few things on here that were streaming products. They were put right onto streaming, and they might have had like a limited week or two run in theaters, but they weren't really applicable to rank based off of box office intake. So, doing great. All right, and just so you guys know, putting a little more time and effort into this video. So if this video can reach 200 views at least, that would be awesome. But then you can expect a follow-up video of 5 great shows that you may have missed this year, and I would be very excited to do that. So if you're ready, I'm ready. So let's start with my first film you may have missed. And kicking off that list is Robert Eggers' The Northman, coming off of doing The Witch and Lighthouse. I'm a big fan of Robert Eggers' work. Now, in total, this film brought in $70 million US worldwide. And now this is a more expensive film compared to Eggers' last couple entries. So if it broke even, it just barely did. Not enough people saw this film, starring Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, Ethan Hawke, Willem Dafoe, and Anya Taylor-Joy. Are you kidding me? That cast is stacked. The synopsis is Prince Amleth is on the verge of becoming a man when his father is brutally murdered by his uncle, who kidnaps the boy's mother, Nicole Kidman. 2 decades later, Amleth is now a Viking who raids Slavic villages. He soon meets Cirrus, who reminds him of his vow: save his mother, kill his uncle, avenge his father. So, it's not save the cheerleader, save the world, but it is kill your uncle, avenge your father. All right, my rating for this movie was an 8.5 out of 10. It's a brutal and gripping film with devastating twists and turns, and if you want to watch this, it is now available on Amazon Prime Video. So, take a look at The Northman. Moving on to a second movie on our list here, and that is, as I mentioned earlier, some really good movies this year went straight to streaming and not enough people are talking about them. Now, in my circle, a lot of people were talking about 20th Century Fox's Prey. Now, this is a movie in the Predator franchise, and pardon me, it's starring Amber Midthunder, directed by Dan Trachtenberg. The synopsis here is it's fairly simple. A skilled Comanche warrior protects her tribe from a highly evolved alien predator, not alien and predator, but an alien predator that hunts humans for sports, fighting against wilderness, dangerous colonizers, and this mysterious creature to keep her people safe. Now, I gave Prey a 9 out of 10 and said it is the best Predator film in over 30 years. It's a simple story that's brilliantly executed, and that is now streaming, as it has always been, on Hulu. So make sure to check out Prey. It's a great time. All right, moving on to actually our lowest grossing film on this list. And there's one that my wife and I have been wanting to see for a while. Took forever to get to any theaters around here. And that is Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, bringing in a total of $6.3 million worldwide. At least thus far. I don't know if they're dropping it in any other theaters, but it's been out for some time now, just little pockets here and there. This film is starring Jenny Slate, as it was in the original short that debuted on YouTube, and Dean Fleischer Camp, who is also the director of the film. Brief synopsis for you here. Marcel, a 1-inch tall shell, lives with his grandmother Connie, the only residents of their town after their neighbor's sudden, mysterious disappearance. When discovered by a guest amongst the clutter of his Airbnb, the short film he posts online brings Marcel millions of passionate fans and a new hope of reuniting with his long lost family. My rating and review for Marcel the Shell is 8.8 out of 10, a sweet story that shouldn't work as well as it does. You'll be smiling through the entire runtime except when you're crying. Currently, there is no streaming service showing Marcel, but it is available for VOD and rental. All right, moving on to number 4 as I take a drink of my caffeine because it's still early yet in the morning at time of recording this. Are you guys keeping up? Am I going too fast? A lot of things happened this year. All right, number 4. We are going to talk about Brahmastra. And if you've been following the channel for a while, you know we've been covering this from trailer reactions, reviews, discussions, all kinds of stuff, and maybe an eventual watch along. We'll have to see. But anyways, Brahmastra Part 1, Shiva. This movie brought in $50 million worldwide. So I think that's taken into account, what it made overseas, doing the whatever algorithm it is. But this is what my research says. Starring, forgive me on some of the pronunciations, this is my first time attempting, Ranbir Kapoor, Alia Bhatt, Shah Rukh Khan, who I know is very big over there, and Mooni Roy. Directed by Ayan Mukherjee. I tried. I did my best. I just want to know that get the names out there so you can look them up. The synopsis goes as follows. A young man on the brink of falling in love gets his world turned upside down when he discovers he has the power to control fire and a connection to a secret society of guardians. My rating for this movie, 9 out of 10. Filled with a persistent energy and fueled by wonderful music, the visuals leap off the screen, and the lore of the Astras pulls you in from the start. Now streaming on Hulu. Check it out. All right, number 5. Made a little bit more money than some of the entries here on this list, but that is The Woman King, starring Viola Davis, Lashana Lynch, Thuso Mbidu, I'm so sorry, and John Boyega. This film brought in $92 million worldwide. Directed by Gina Prince Bythewood, or Bithwood. That probably makes more sense. The synopsis for the film is as follows. In the 1800s, a group of all-female warriors protect the African kingdom of Dahomey. With skills and fierceness unlike anything the world has ever seen, faced with a new threat. General Naniska, sorry, it's been a little while since I watched this. General Naniska trains the next generation of recruits to fight against a foreign enemy that's determined to destroy their way of life. There's a lot of things to cover, so I do have notes. I apologize if I'm darting around a little bit. Anyways, my rating for this, you'll see something consistent. I don't have anything on this list that I don't like. My rating for Woman King is 9 out of 10. Beautiful, powerful, and emotional. This is a story that pulls you in and refuses to let go. There's an incredible balance of weight and levity sprinkled throughout a very well executed story of triumph. So check out Woman King on VOD or digital rental. They don't have it on a streaming service yet, but keep an eye out for it, maybe soon. All right, now my next movie is actually the only one on this list that's still in theaters or just getting out to theaters, as a matter of fact, but I predict it's not going to be one to crack the $150 million mark, so I think we're safe in keeping it on this list. And that movie is The Banshees of Inisherin, directed by Martin McDonagh, starring Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, Barry Keoghan, and Kerry Condon. The synopsis is on a remote island off the coast of Ireland. Patrick is devastated when his buddy Colin suddenly puts an end to their lifelong friendship. Now, that sounds like a simple premise. It is, because it is a simple premise. However, there's so much going on in this movie at the same time, and you'll be doing yourself a favor if you go check this out as soon as possible. Check your local listings, see if it's available to you. I've already seen it in theaters twice. I've just had to do a couple drives to do so. So my rating for this movie, no surprise. It's another 9 out of 10. Fantastic film. One of the most contained stories you will see this year, and perhaps still the most entertaining. A remarkable blend of dialogue and performance. Martin McDonagh paces you on a emotional roller coaster. that ranges from hilarious levels of pettiness to the tragedy of intimate loss and loneliness. So go check out Banshees of Inisherin. It's honestly one of my favorite films of the year. All right, and it is not streaming, obviously, because it's still in theaters. All right, moving on to next film. Uh, this, I want to say, was a pleasant surprise, but I knew I was going to like it, And that's The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, raking in 30 million US dollars worldwide. This film is starring Nicolas Cage as Nick Cage, Pedro Pascal, Tiffany Haddish, and Ike Barinholtz, directed by Tom Gormican. The synopsis is unfulfilled and facing financial ruin. Actor Nick Cage accepts a $1 million offer to attend a wealthy fan's birthday party. Things take a wildly unexpected turn when a CIA operative recruits Cage for an unusual mission. Rating for this film is 8 out of 10. A fun romp that's as silly as you expect it to be, with Cage and Pascal turning wonderful performance with noteworthy chemistry. So you can currently check that out on Hulu Premium or on Stars. All right, we're rounding out the list here. We're moving on to number 8 here. Number 8, again, one of my favorites on this list. And for me, a very pleasant surprise. I did not know what to expect from Barbarian. We're talking about Barbarian here, raked in a total of $45 million worldwide, starring Bill Skarsgård, Georgina Campbell, and Justin Long. It's not really a spoiler that he's in the movie, but it might surprise you when he's in the movie. But it is on the poster there, so there you go. Directed by Zach Krieger from Whitest Kids You Know, his directorial debut. And the story is a young woman discovers the rental home she booked is already occupied by a stranger. Against her better judgment, she decides to spend the night, but soon discovers there's a lot more to fear than just an unexpected house guest. Now, that might sound like nothing original, but I can assure you this movie is quite original. So, deep breath here, real quick. All right. My rating for Barbarian, 9 out of 10. Once again, ignorance is bliss with this film. Zach Krieger's directorial debut is dripping with ambition and ingenuity. A film that will, in the best way, leave you wondering, what the hell did I just watch? You may not be sure, but I am pretty sure that he had a good time doing it. Check out Barbarian now on HBO Max. All right, moving on to our number 9. All right, coming in with $19 million worldwide. It's George Miller's follow-up film to Mad Max Fury Road, and that is 3,000 Years of Longing, starring Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba. Synopsis is a lonely scholar on a trip to Istanbul discovers a djinn who offers her 3 wishes in exchange for his freedom. Seems like a simple story, but the movie itself is anything but. I gave this movie an 8.5 out of 10. Spellbinding. This movie sweeps you up in its visuals and intimate storytelling. The performances are both quirky and earnest. This movie will leave you weighing the dangers and temptations of love. It is not on any current streaming services, but is available on VOD and for digital rental. So check it out. All right. I may have saved the best and biggest for last. The movie that came the closest to that $150 or $150 million guideline that I set in place there. And that is Everything, Everywhere, All at Once at $102 million worldwide, which makes it A24's biggest movie to date, starring Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Lee Curtis, Stephanie Hsu, and Ke Huy Quan, directed by the Daniels. And the story is, if you haven't seen this movie yet, what are you doing? Go check it out. But if you don't know what it's about, an aging Chinese immigrant is swept up in an insane adventure in which she alone can save the world by exploring other universes and connecting with the lives she could have led. My rating for this movie, the only one on this list, 10 out of 10. Unlike anything we have seen before, this movie blends martial arts with zany and irreverent humor while never losing track of its core motive to tell the story of families and bonding through generations. The Daniels will keep you guessing and maybe feeling like you were sucked into a bagel. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And currently, that is just available for VOD or digital rental. We don't have it on streaming service yet, but keep your eye out. Once again, I'm sure it will be on there sometime soon. All right, and I just wanted to bring up, some of you that have seen this movie are probably like, why hasn't this been on the list? RRR. I know it's a big movie, and this is the huge film that I haven't seen yet, along with about half the people here on the Flick and Reel crew. So our plan is to rectify that this coming weekend. This Saturday, at the time of this video being posted, it'll be 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do a watch along for RRR. So pop in, join that. If you get in early, maybe we'll send you a link to our Netflix watch party, however that thing works. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, before I sign off, I do want to mention I had a couple honorable mentions that did not quite make this list, but check these movies out. They are all fantastic. We have Sea Beast on Netflix, Turning Red on Disney Plus, movies that we're not talking about enough, and keeping in the theme of animated, Wendell and Wild on Netflix. I know Halloween has passed, but don't miss out on this collaboration between Henry Selick and Jordan Peele. Awesome film. Also, really hard to find a great place to watch it because the Roku channel sucks, but it is Weird, the Al Yankovic story on the Roku channel. And also, earlier this year, the Harry Potter 20th anniversary special doc on HBO. Fantastic. And now, you know, we're missing Hagrid and Robbie Coltrane. Took me a second, but we're missing Robbie. This would be a great time to revisit there. He's got some of the biggest emotional moments in the documentary, and it was a lot of fun. So thank you so much for checking out this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe if you haven't. But if you have already, vote with your thumbs. Click that like button. Tell us if it was worth the hours of prep time we spent setting this video up. I had a great time doing this video. I would love to do more as long as you guys would love watching it. But until next time, and as always, keep it real.